What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the 2025 Toyota GR Corolla alongside the FL5 Honda Civic Type-R. Now, for the Type-Rs, there's only one trim level. They're going to be around $47,000 with destination. Over on the GR Corolla, we have a base, a premium, and a premium plus, starting around $38,800, going up to about $47,000 with destination. This one is a premium for $45,000, which is exactly what I paid for my slightly pre-owned FL5. Now, if you want to see even more spirited driving of each of these cars, we were on the track with the 2025 Corollas, both automatics and manuals. I'll have that video linked below, and I've taken my car to the mountains and have a couple months under my belt. So with that said, let's see which hot hatch is the better choice and have some fun in these two cars. Taking a look at the performance specifications for these cars, under the hood of the 2025 Toyota GR Corolla, you're going to find a 1.6 liter inline 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. This has 300 horsepower with 295 pound-feet of torque. You can either get a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed automatic transmission. It is also an all-wheel drive vehicle. Curb weight is around 3,340 pounds. 0 to 60 is going to be just under 5 seconds. We also get a 4-piston brake caliper up front with a 14-inch rotor that is slotted 2-piece as well as ventilated. For the FL5 Honda Civic Type-R, you're going to get a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with 315 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. This is only paired to a 6-speed manual transmission. It is front-wheel drive. 0 to 60 is about 5.3 seconds, and then overall curb weight is 3,188 pounds. This will feature a set of 4-piston Brembo brake calipers up front with a 14-inch rotor that is 2-piece and ventilated. For the exterior styling, the Toyota GR Corolla has a pretty cool, bold and aggressive look. I really like the painted gloss black for this front grille. There are parking sensors throughout it. There's even a functional opening to provide cooling to the extra cooler. You have brake ducts as well, and then a massive intercooler right in the center to provide cooling to that turbocharged air. Really nice rally-inspired design with it. Can't complain at all. Massive set of LED headlights, and you got your Toyota badge as well as the GR logo. Now for the Civic Type-R, once again, a lot of gloss black for the front end. There are also brake ducts, openings right in the center, and a massive intercooler in the center as well. Got your large Honda logo, LED on the headlights. I think both of them look really cool for their different designs. You're gonna get a functional vent up on the hood of the Type-R. The Premium Plus Corolla will also have functional hood scoops. But I think you can't really complain. I like them both a lot. Really sharp designs, good color options for each car. Nice set of wheels for the GR Corolla with the multi-spoke design, contrasting very well to the brake calipers. Got the vent in the side, and this is a really compact looking hatchback. So it's definitely short and stubby. I do like the wide body appearance, especially with all these fenders. You can see how the rear bulges out so much. And then you have a super unique exhaust tip. So you have one in the center and 2 on the sides. And once again, just a really edgy, compact hatchback. So I like all the bold lines. It's a really cool looking car. The Honda Civic Type-R is more of a liftback, so you're gonna have a slightly different rear end design, a big wing on the back as well, and a unique triple exhaust tip. So both of them definitely have some cool, unique aspects. Side profile a little bit different, not quite as stubby for the Type-R, and you're also gonna get a nice vent behind the front fender, and I like these set of wheels you're gonna get for these as well. Taking a look at the interior for the GR Corolla, you got a nice round leather wrap steering wheel with your GR badge. Gauge cluster in the center is fully digital. You can customize it by scrolling left and right and adjusting what you want to see in the center. And then from here with your different drive modes, you can get a massive tack. You have 4 different drive modes, even a customizable one. And then for the all-wheel drive system, you can configure how you'd like the torque split to be. We have a track mode as well, and then you can go into different ones for gravel, things like that. You have just some plastic material around the dash, a little bit of soft touch on the door as well as the rest of the dashboard, some faux stitching. The screen, basically what you're used to seeing on every Toyota, so nothing all too crazy fancy with it. All your basics here. You have physical climate controls down below, and if we pop it into reverse, you have a nice HD backup camera. For the automatic, you have a similar shifter with your paddle shifters. You have wireless phone charging, heated seats, drive modes, rev matching on and off, traction control. No center armrest. You do have a manual park and brake and extra storage. And then a good look at the seats. You have the synthetic leather material for the trim, and then I like the embroidery up top with the micro suede for the center. Door panel, pretty simple as well. And then just a good view around, again, hatchback style. You have lots of open glass, really easy to see around the car. And then a basic mirror setup up above. Now for the Honda Civic Type-R, you got a nice leather wrapped steering wheel along with the red accents, digital gauge cluster as well with massive LED shift lights up above, and when you configure your drive mode, you will also get a configurable screen. So really nice to see all sorts of different vitals within it, and then of course you can still see a lot of the basics. We have more of a soft touch material on the dash and doors, and then the center infotainment screen I do like a lot better. We have all sorts of easy to access tiles, and I really like this screen where you're going to be able to monitor vitals within the car. That is something that I love with any performance vehicle. So that is a cool touch to have, especially in this price point. You have physical climate controls as well. I do like these a little better with the larger dials. Cool mesh design for the upper portion of the dash. And then my favorite aspect is these bucket seats. They are huge bolsters, bottom and back, finished in the red micro suede. This is a really cool seat. I absolutely adore these seats. You can see a little bit of that material on the door panel as well. Wireless charging, some plugs, those drive mode selects as well. You have an R mode, so you have 4 drive modes basically in this car as well. And then we have the aluminum shift knob design with the leather shift boot and storage in the center. For the view around, very similar to what you see in the GR Corolla. You can see your wing back there, however it does not obstruct your view at all. A little bit more open interior here, I would say, and a basic mirror up above, just like the Toyota. So now hopping in the back seats. So the Toyota GR Corolla has a wheelbase at 103.9 inches, while the Civic Type-R has a 107.7 inch wheelbase. So definitely a little bit larger in the Honda Civic. So I'm 5'11", sitting here. I do have really good headroom, a couple inches up there. With the driver's seat at my height, my knees are just barely almost touching. So it is noticeably on the smaller side back here. You just have a little bit of material here, so it's kind of close to your eye level. Decent armrest on the left side. This can seat 3 people in the back. You're gonna get an armrest with cup holders in the center as well. So overall, it's fine. 3 people would be very tight. It's definitely on the cramped side. The seat is pretty decently supportive with good bottoms that are supporting your leg. The recline's at a good angle, but it's noticeably a smaller compact car for sure back here. Moving on to the Civic Type-R. Now neither car has air vents or honestly any real amenities. Back here though, this does have pretty similar headroom, couple inches. With the driver's seat at my height, I have about 2 or 3 inches now of legroom, and this feels significantly more open. This is definitely a way more roomy interior. A lot more glass too around me to where I feel a little bit better with the light. Now there is no center armrest or center seat. This is only a 2-seater back here, but we do have your cup holders down in the center. Onto the cargo space, the Honda Civic Type-R is going to offer 24.5 cubic feet of space in the trunk. There's no spare tire. You are going to get an inflator kit underneath the trunk floor. For the GR Corolla, you're going to have 17.8 cubic feet, so significantly less space. A little bit of a cutout on each side and the same inflator kit underneath. So definitely, once again, a much smaller car. From here, we do have a privacy cover. You can remove it by just pulling these straps, and then of course you can just pop this upwards. You do have access from back here to push these seats forward and get them nice and flat. And then after manually sliding the front seats out of the way, you can see how we have a very nice flat area for cargo. And entering through the side doors, you are going to get pretty good amount of space with the flat design. And being a full hatchback, you have a lot of that ceiling space in here as well. Now for the Type-R, you have a privacy cover that you can remove and slide out of the way to really open it up. Being more of a liftback, you have a much larger opening, and you still have access back here to get these seats folded down, and I don't even have to move the front seats out of the way to let these fold down. You're still going to get a huge flat area to fit larger items, and then going through the side door, as you would expect, you still have a lot of space in here. All right, so setting off now in the GR Corolla. Letting that 3-cylinder go a little bit. So with this car already, the manual seems pretty tight for the shifting. It's got a decent throw, but it's got weight to it as well, which is kind of nice. Easy to go through the gears, really notchy. The clutch pedal has kind of no feedback, and then the bite point is just a big like bulge of weight on your foot. So a little bit different to get used to right off the bat. So sitting in here in the comfort mode, you know, the steering wheel is pretty comfortable to do. The suspension is nice and soft as well. So not too bad. You hear a little bit of maybe just road noise in general, but not really anything too crazy. So this seat feels pretty comfortable. There's some manual controls for it. Basically, you can go up, down, forward, back, and recline. You fit pretty good in here. However, there's no armrest on the right side, which I'm not a fan of, and the left one just kind of makes you feel a little crooked sitting in here. Let's go into the sport mode, and we're just leaving the all-wheel drive in normal. Man, there is some good low-end torque. This feels, without even going crazy in the revs, it feels really peppy. And when we drove these on the racetrack, it was a blast. You were never getting wheel spin, and it was just really fun overall. For the suspension, now that we're in the sport mode, it actually feels really confident and kind of grown up. You know, it's not harsh or bouncy. We're on a bad part of the road right now, and yet it's kind of tackling the bumps with ease to where it doesn't feel just, you know, all harsh and everything like that. So let's go back into the sport mode, kind of feel out the fun factor. It's a smooth to drive car. The brakes work great. The handling is nice and flat too. It's really planted feeling. With the all-wheel drive, you had that confidence. The rev matching works well when you have it on, and you can of course do it yourself if needed. Not really any turbo lag. It's a smooth power delivery. I'm liking that, especially from a 3-cylinder. Yeah, steering is good. I like the weight of it. It's just really smooth. There feels like with this car, I'm getting refinements out of it. Like it kind of reminds me of an Audi or something, to where there's some premium aspects to the GR Corolla you wouldn't expect. I like it a lot. I like the driving experience. I feel like you really get a good powertrain. The delivery of power is great. These seats aren't all too supportive when I go into a sharper turn. You know, the bolsters, like my whole body is on top of the seat basically. So I wish these were more sporty and aggressive. I mean, there's a lot of movement all around it. And then the view out, you don't see the hood or anything. These pillars are very narrow, so it kind of helps make this car feel very narrow and easy to point. And when we were on the racetrack, that's what I found with this car. It was so easy just to navigate, especially when there were chicanes to go around. It's a very small, compact feeling car. It is so easy to place. Carries the weight nicely, brakes work really well, and you can tone it back down and be a livable daily as well. So moving on to the Civic Type-R. Just starting off into comfort mode. Now, of course, I do have some upgrades on my car, so we're not going to talk about those differences, obviously. Stock, they both kind of sound the same. They don't have much of an exhaust tone. So this car in comfort mode, you're still going to get the adaptive suspension, and you're going to get kind of the adaptive steering, to where this car can tone down. In comfort mode, you know, you definitely feel bumps more. This seems to be a little bit more of a rigid car. These seats are amazing. I am a sucker for a bucket seat, and sitting in here, I mean, I fit so darn well. I mean, this is one of the best factory seats out there. The armrests are both in a great place. So this is very comfortable. It feels very roomy and open in this car too. Good visibility. This definitely is noticeably not a compact car. The Corolla GR feels like a compact. So this has a little bit more size to it, which is quite nice. At 5'11", I just feel like I do fit a little better in the front seat, to where I have just more room in general. This screen looks awesome too, having all these vitals up, the G-force meter. That's something that the Toyota's really missing. I just like that. It gives it a better display when you're having the fun in the car. Really easy to use everything in here as well. And it seems like a pretty normal car. Now, when you tone this into sport mode, it gets a little bit stiffer, and then the R mode, everything really tightens up a lot. All of these little bumps in the road, I'm feeling every single thing. So this is definitely a little bit harsher riding car. Even into comfort mode, I can feel all these little bumps, which I wasn't feeling in the Toyota. Now, when you're on the racetrack, you know, I felt the GR Corolla was fine. This, on the mountain roads, I had to put it into my individual mode, which is everything in the R mode, however, keeping the suspension in the softest setting. So this car would be interesting on the racetrack, given it'd be perfectly smooth. For the manual, the clutch pedal is so much lighter. I had to kind of get used to this again, hopping into this car now. You have just a very linear, I guess, weight of the clutch. So this is a little smoother, much easier to actually daily drive this clutch. And then the shifter feel, they both feel really nice, honestly. I know people love Honda's manuals. This is great. I wouldn't say I have any noticeable difference between the two manuals themselves. Just the clutch is a little bit easier to work in the Type-R. On the fun road, we'll go into everything R mode. It is a joy going through this manual. It rev matches very well. So while there's a little bit more turbo lag, I feel like when the turbo hits in this car, just giving it kind of half throttle in each car, you feel a bit more of that power. So you do notice the extra horsepower in this car. This car is super flat. I mean, there isn't even the slightest bit of body roll. You can tell how it's a little bit more like race car ready. The steering feel is great as well. Bit more weighted in this car. Now, being front wheel drive, you're gonna get that input. So giving it a little bit of boost around the turn, you feel it kind of turn the wheel a little bit for you. So you have to get used to driving front wheel drive. This is probably the most performance focused front wheel drive car out there. And you have to learn it a little bit. You don't get any steering input, even on the track, with the GR Corolla. Man, this is fun though. It is super flat. It feels more like a go-kart, like a little race car, something you really want to take to the track. Yeah, if you're not shifting at redline, you're gonna get a bit more of that turbo lag in this car. And the tires are gonna spin a little easier, especially if it's raining out or if it's cold, you're gonna get wheel spin in this car. Now, as far as these seats go, like I said, they're very comfortable. When you go around a turn, you are so stuck in the seat. I mean, there is no movement. You are just in the seat, cradled perfectly. In the Corolla, you know, I mean, I could get my body out here. I have to lift myself out of the seat to even do that in this car. So after driving in the FL5 Type-R with the GR Corolla, I don't think you can complain with either. You're certainly not gonna have buyer's remorse if you buy either of these two cars. Especially after driving the GR Corollas on the racetrack, it was so much fun. After owning mine for several months, taking it to the mountains, it is so much fun as well. With that said, there are some big differences. The Civic Type-R's interior, I think, is far better. It is a lot more roomy. It feels nice and open. The bucket seats are above and beyond. They are one of my favorite factory seats. So amazing seats, roomy interior, much better infotainment screen. I think the gauge cluster looks better. Having the vitals in the center also is nice. The armrests are comfortable. You have more room in the back, even though there is a missing seat in the middle. But interior definitely is better. The GR Corolla feels like a compact car. To me, I feel just a little tight on the inside of this car. With that said though, the drive is really good in the GR Corolla. It has a more refined feeling. The suspension just gives you that premium ride quality to where you're not feeling the little bumps, and yet in the sport mode, it is super confident. It also has the all-wheel drive, which honestly is a big plus. You don't get any of the torque steer, you just get a really good smooth power delivery, you get the traction. It is a blast to drive, and you have an automatic for the people who aren't too interested in a manual. You get a little bit more power out of the Honda Civic, but you get with some wheel spin given its front wheel drive. So I think the GR Corolla has a bit more premium ride, but the sacrifice is a bit more compact of a vehicle without amazing seats. The Civic Type-R, very roomy, amazing performance-focused seats, but the driving experience is a bit rough around the edges. So it is a toss-up, I think. They're both really, really cool. Super exciting, edgy go-kart, a little bit extra refinement in a compact with a bit better power delivery. Comment below, what do you think is the better car, the GR Corolla or the FL5 Civic Type-R? Overall though, these are some fun cars for an affordable price point. If you guys enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.